I'm making birria tacos. Start by frying your meat in a little bit of oil. Add your garlic, onion, tomato, then guajillo and ancho chili peppers. Add seasoning and chicken broth and cook on high for about an hour. When it's done, remove everything, throw it in a blender with a little broth, and add it back. Take the meat out and shred it separately in a bowl. Grate your Oaxaca cheese, chop up a little bit of red onion and cilantro. Dip your tortilla in consomme and fry it in a pan with a little bit of oil. Add some cheese, add your birria meat, add some more consomme on top of the meat, then add your cilantro and red onion. Fry both sides for about 2 minutes until they're crispy and brown, just like this. I serve mine with lime juice and dip in the consomme.
Hi guys, today I'm going to share with you how to make the best birria. Okay, so we're going to start by grabbing a large pot. We're going to fill it up halfway with water, and then we're going to set it on high heat. We're going to add 1 whole onion, 1 whole head of garlic, 2 Roma tomatoes, 4 bay leaves, and salt. And now we're just going to bring it to a boil. And once it comes to a boil, we're going to add 2 pounds of short ribs and 5 pounds of chuck pot roast. So now we're just going to wait for it to come to a boil again. Okay, once it comes to a boil, we're going to skim the top of our pot. We're going to cover it, reduce the heat to medium-low, and let it cook for 1 hour. So in a small saucepan, we're going to transfer 22 New Mexico o Guajillo chile pods. We're also going to add 3 chile anchos and chile de árbol. So now we're just going to cover them with water, set it on high heat, and bring them to a boil. Okay, so once our chiles come to a boil, we're going to turn it off and transfer them into our blender cup. Okay, so now we're going to toast our spices. So in a small pan, we're going to set it on medium heat, and we're going to add 7 garlic cloves. So we're just going to toast them. Okay, so once the garlic cloves are ready, we're going to reduce the heat to low setting, and now we're just going to transfer them to our blender cup. In the pan, we're also going to toast 2 teaspoons of sesame seeds. So as soon as they change color, make sure that you transfer them to the blender cup. Okay, so just like that. Okay, so now we're going to toast 1 teaspoon of peppercorn, 2 teaspoons of oregano, 2 teaspoons of whole cumin, 2 teaspoons of thyme, and 5 whole cloves. So we're just going to leave them there for a couple seconds. So once you begin to smell the herbs, they are ready, so we're going to transfer them to the blender cup as well. And last, we have 4 bay leaves and a piece of cinnamon stick. Give it a couple seconds as well. And once you smell the cinnamon, it's ready, so we're going to transfer it to the blender cup. So we are done, so now we can make our sauce. Okay, so to blend, we're going to cover our chiles with our beef broth. Okay, so now we can blend. Okay, to a blender cup, we're also going to add a small piece of ginger and 1/4 of a cup of white vinegar. So now we're just going to blend until we have a smooth sauce. Okay, so once we have our adobo sauce, now we are ready to transfer it to our meat. Okay, so we're going to remove our onion and head of garlic. And now we're going to add our adobo sauce. And of course, strain if you need to. Okay, so we're just going to mix it. And at this point, we're going to try it for salt. And for me, it's perfect. Okay, so we're going to cover it and continue cooking for another 1.5 hours or 2 hours until the meat is nice and tender. Okay guys, so after 1 hour and 30 minutes, our delicious birria is done. And let me tell you that it smells delicious. Alright guys, so now we're just going to chop our meat. And of course you can shred it as well. So just whatever is easier for you. Okay, so once we have our meat all nice and chopped, now we're going to pour some consomme on top of it. Okay, so now we are ready to make our delicious quesatacos. Dip our tortilla into our consomme. So grab your oil. So we're going to flip it over. Add our cheese. I'm using queso Oaxaca, and we're just going to allow the cheese to melt. We're going to add our birria, add some onion, some cilantro, and some lemon juice.
Let me show you how to make beef birria tacos in less than 20 seconds. Let's go. Start by seasoning your churros with salt and pepper on both sides. Bring your chilies and garlic to a boil for 5 minutes. You get your spices and put them into a blender with the chilies and blend. Don't worry, full recipe in my comments below. Sear your meat on both sides, add your chili, your beef stock, bay leaves, and a little bit of chicken bouillon powder. Cook for 3 hours and that's it. Follow for more easy recipes just like this.
I know you told your friend you're not okay. And tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade.
I know this isn't trending anymore, but I finally decided to make some birria at home. After watching so many recipes, I decided to combine a bunch of them. I cut up my chuck steak and boiled it in 7 cups of water with some garlic, bay leaves, and half an onion. Also some salt. Remove the foam as you go. Then I heated up some oil and toasted my chile de guajillo and chile de árbol with some garlic. When it was fragrant, I transferred it over to the blender with the garlic and onion from the pot. Added some peppercorn, a splash of vinegar, some water to make blending easier. Then I went ahead and strained the sauce. I know you can tell that there are some pepper seeds in there. I removed the seeds for most of the peppers, but left it in a couple because we love our food extra spicy. Added in my spices. I didn't have whole cloves. I replaced it with allspice, added some bouillon. Realized I don't have a cheese grater yet, so I cut up my Oaxaca by hand. Then after cooking my meat for 3 more hours, I went ahead and shredded it, dipped my tortilla in the consomme, fried it on both sides, added cheese, added the beef, some cilantro and onion, and then I added some cilantro and onion into my consomme. I know the cilantro and onion is cut up too big. My husband did that. It was the only thing I asked him to do. That's what I get, but it tasted amazing.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better.
Today we're making homemade birriaquesatacos. I've been seeing a very Americanized version all over the internet, so today I'll be showing you guys how to make it the authentic way. You need about 6 chile guajillos, 3 chile de árbol, and about 5 ancho chiles. You want to add those to a big pot of water with 5 pounds of chuck roast, everything that I have listed on the screen as well. You want to skim the top of your broth, we want it very clean. Add a hefty pinch of salt, cover and let it cook for about 1 hour. After 1 hour, you want to take out your chiles and add them to a blender. You also want to add in some of your onions, garlic, and cinnamon stick, as well as a little bit of our beef broth. You also want to add in everything that I have displayed on the screen. You want to blend until very smooth for about 1 to 2 minutes. We're going to add that to our beef broth. Also adding in 2 boiled tomatoes that I pureed. You want to let that cook for another 2 hours. Take your meat out of your broth and strain your liquid. You want to take your corn tortillas and dip them to your strained broth. Put them to a hot pan with some butter and you want them to get nice and crispy. Add your Oaxaca cheese, your shredded beef, some onions and cilantro. Dip them into your consomme with some onions and cilantro and you're done.
Let's make something out of nothing. We got some birria tacos. I hope I said that right. These are really the best tacos ever, and they're actually easy to make. Throw everything in the pot. 2 pounds of chuck roast, 8 cups of water, some garlic cloves, 1 onion chopped, about 5 to 6 California chilies, some black pepper, some onion powder, some garlic powder. You know we got the sazon. Throw in some salt and 2 bouillon cubes. Add some bay leaves. Let that simmer for about 2 hours. Your house gonna smell so good your neighbors might come knocking. After 2 hours, take out the chilies and onions, blend it up with a little broth and add it back in. You should get a nice rich colored broth. Let that simmer till your meat tender like this. Add that meat to a bowl, sauce it up, dip your tortilla, add it to a pan, then add in some mozzarella cheese. Throw that beef on there, a little bit more cheese. Flip it after a couple minutes. Here come the cheese pull. All right, y'all.